Live here now.
It says waiting for you.
Hi. I think there's a delay. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to, let's mute that. All right, cool. Hi, welcome.
Oh, and the delay.
Okay. So this is the first time that I've used this YouTube live feature. Fingers crossed it works great. Annie's manning the comments, so just let me know if you have any questions or if you're not seeing anything. I am going to start sharing Norwex with you. So I shared a couple of just informational posts about, you know, standard household cleaners like these guys. This is what I used to use. There used to be one under every single sink in my house. I mean, I use these things for everything. I never once read the back. There's a lot of really tiny writing on here, and basically if you put your glasses on and you want to read that, it's going to tell you that you're using it wrong. I think that there's like 1% of America is actually using these things the way that they need to be used in order to actually do what the big bold letters on the label say that they're doing. So, you know, one of the things I just want to point out is that, you know, it tells you on here that it's hazardous to humans and domestic animals. I never paid attention to that. You're going to see me do a demonstration because I'm going to compare the Norwex EnviroCloth to these Lysol wipes. And I'm going to use rubber gloves because that's where I'm at now. Now I understand that these are really toxic. And some things that I've learned is our skin is our largest organ. It takes 26 seconds for a toxic chemical that touches your skin to get into your bloodstream. So that's why I wear gloves when I do these demos. You know, or I try to like wash my hand really, really quickly because I don't want these chemicals getting into my bloodstream. I didn't know that before. I use these for everything. I never use gloves. So this is like how far you can come, you know? I am a testament. So Norwex, what is Norwex? Norwex, the name is kind of weird, right? So it stands for the Norwegian Experience. And that is because the Norwegian Experience, Norwex, that is because this Norwegian scientist got irritated that he couldn't clean bugs off his windshield with Windex and paper towels. It was leaving a mess. It was smeared and it was taking him a long time and he's having to use a lot of product. Now, the scientists knew that microfiber and water works better than paper towel in anything. Paper towel, there's actually some really cool demonstrations out there about how paper towel, all it does is smear. It doesn't remove anything, which is another misconception because I use paper towels for everything. As a single person with a lot of animals that are often naughty, I was using a roll of paper towel a day, which is crazy. I now, today, currently, do not use paper towels at all. Imagine the money that I'm saving. So Norwex, the Norwegian Experience. This scientist, he knew that microfiber and water worked better than cleaner and paper towels. So he grabbed a microfiber cloth and knew he could do it better. So in order to be, there's a few things that make Norwex microfiber different from all the other microfibers out there. And the first is the size of the fibers that make up the cloth. So you probably know, you've seen microfiber all over the place. It's at the dollar store, it's at CVS, it's at TJ Maxx, you know, I mean, microfibers everywhere. So in order to be sold in a store with a label that says microfiber, every strand that makes up that cloth has to be 1/6 the size of a human hair. Like literally 1/6 the size of a human hair. So think about your hair, plucking it out and cutting it into 6. This scientist knew that he could make a more powerful cloth if he could get those fibers cut even finer. So the Norwex microfiber are cut 1/200th the size of a human hair. So just think about that. That's like really small. And you know, I have a hard time kind of conceptually imagining that. So let's think about it this way. Think about your sheets in your house. The higher the thread count sheet, the more expensive and the softer and the nicer the sheet, right? So that's kind of the same concept as this microfiber and literally splitting hairs. So a standard microfiber cloth at like the Dollar Tree, that's like a 50 thread count sheet. This Norwex EnviroCloth This is your everything cloth. All the demonstrations I'm going to do tonight is going to be with an Enviro cloth. You're going to see a couple different colors because it comes in different colors. So this is just a dry graphite Enviro cloth that I've had for years. There's a 2-year warranty on our microfiber products. So, I mean, it lasts a really, really long time. So this is a Norwex Enviro cloth. And that compared to that Dollar Tree microfiber cloth, that's like a 5,000 thread count set of sheets compared to a 50 thread count set of sheets. So all that microfiber, what all that does, that's what's actually cleaning. It's really cool. It's like this concept of cleaning mechanically versus cleaning chemically. So with these guys, you're applying a toxic chemical to the surface or the counter, and you want that toxic chemical to destroy anything yucky or any bacteria on the surface. Well, what the back tells you that most people don't read is that you need to use enough wipes to leave that surface wet for a minimum of 4 minutes in order to actually kill the stuff on the surface. Well, with Norwex microfiber, the 1/200th the size of a human hair, all that microfiber in here, that acts like little hands that are actually picking up all the junk. So you are not chemically cleaning and applying a toxic chemical. You are physically removing all the junk with this Norwex Enviro cloth. So this is wet just with water, and I'll just kind of show you here. So you just want to wet your Enviro cloth, and you wring it out really well. So that's what I have. So I've got my wet Enviro cloth. So the first thing that makes Norwex microfiber so fabulous and so much better than all the others is the size of the fibers. So the 1/200th the size of a human hair, Norwex can fit so much more microfiber in this one cloth than the Dollar Tree fiber that's 1/6 the size of a human hair. So this Enviro cloth, if you unwind this whole cloth, and just think about this as being one long fiber. If you unwind it, that one fiber will stretch from Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. There's over 1,500 miles of microfiber in this thing. So that is what is cleaning mechanically. And all that microfiber is physically picking up the junk and removing it, which guess what that makes you do? Clean less often. Because when you actually remove the dirt and dust and bacteria, you clean less often. It doesn't keep growing back. Like with these chemical wipes and things, they actually attract dirt and dust to them. Pledge is what I used to use to dust with. The chemicals in Pledge attract dust. So all those times when I would spend all these hours cleaning and then afterwards thinking, I feel like I didn't even do anything, I really didn't even do anything because it all just came right back. I think you probably understand what I'm saying there. Hopefully you felt that way too. So Norwex microfiber, the size of the fibers are so much finer that you can fit all kinds of additional fiber in the cloth. The second thing that makes Norwex so great is microsilver. So there's some really cool things about microsilver that I didn't know. I went to University of Florida, go Gators, and I do accounting. So I'm not sciencey at all. I'm like a numbers nerd. And I didn't know any of this stuff about microsilver. But silver is a natural antimicrobial. Bacteria actually disintegrates in the presence of silver. It's really, really cool stuff. So like if you think about bacteria, what does bacteria do? It breeds. That's what it does by nature. And, like when you think about a sponge or any other microfiber cloth, you wet it. The second that you set it down on the counter, it's sitting there breeding because that's what bacteria does. So when silver is present, and Norwex, what they did is they created this microsilver, which does not leach. So that means that there's silver embedded in the cloth like creamer in coffee. So it's not going to come out, you're not going to wipe it off, and it's not going to leach. And so they created this microsilver that Norwex trademarked Backlock for bacteria locking. So what that means is I can use this EnviroCloth for all kinds of little things, and then I can hang it up right here after I rinse it out, because you want to rinse it really well. I'm going to use that cloth right there for a lot of really nasty stuff. So you want to rinse it really well when you're done, because all those fibers just picked up all that junk. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But you hang it to dry, and while it's drying, the microsilver is purifying the cloth. So any bacteria that I didn't rinse down the drain that is left on that cloth, over the next 24-hour period, the silver is literally suffocating that bacteria so it can't breed. So if bacteria can't breathe, it can't breed. And that's what the silver in the cloth does. So Norwex microfiber is awesome. I use the same cloth in my kitchen all week long, and I wash it about once a week. So that's how Norwex can save you so much money. So that's kind of the difference and what makes Norwex so special. Now let me just start getting into some demonstrations. How we doing, Annie? Everybody good? Cool. So I've got my wet EnviroCloth, and I've got the EnviroCloth's best friend, the window cloth. We call these Bert and Ernie in Norwex land because we're real cleaning nerds. So Bert and Ernie go together all the time. Bert does most of the heavy lifting. That's the EnviroCloth. The EnviroCloth does most of the cleaning and is going to be your kind of go-to everything all over cloth. So I have this wet, and just wet with water, this cloth is going to remove everything from the surface. On surfaces that I want to be shiny, like stainless, windows, faucets, anything that I want to be shiny, I'm going to go behind it with the window cloth. And the window cloth is Ernie in this scenario because Ernie likes to party and Ernie likes to get the credit. So the EnviroCloth does the work. Ernie comes in, polishes it up, makes everybody go woohoo, and everybody wows Ernie and forgets about the EnviroCloth. So that's why Ernie's Ernie, duh. So Bert and Ernie are gonna do all of my tasks. I'm gonna start with a demonstration using some butter. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go onto my fridge. I might actually, let me see how I can best do this. I might need you to come closer with it. So I've got this just table butter, and this is like a trial run. You know, usually I've got somebody recording and I'm doing this YouTube live thing, so we'll see how this goes. So I've got just some household table butter, and as you can see, I've got stainless appliances. So I'm gonna take this butter and I'm gonna draw on my fridge with the butter, which is like gasp, right? So I've got my EnviroCloth, and when you use the EnviroCloth, you want to fold it, and you always want to use it flat because, like I said, it's these fibers that are physically removing the stuff from the surface. So all that butter, these fibers are what's going to grab it. And when you use it flat, all the fibers can get at it and really pick it up and suction it up. If you use it scrunched, you're going to miss some. Because see, there's little holes like where the fiber can't get in. So you use it flat, and you've got 8 clean surfaces before you have to rinse it. This is how it's saving you time. So I'm going to take my EnviroCloth and just a quick little wipe, and I've got the butter removed. So now so what you see on the fridge, and I can see it from here, there's a little bit of residual water left on the fridge, so that's where the window cloth comes in. I'm gonna go behind with the window cloth, polish and shine, and my fridge is just as good as new. And that's butter. So hopefully you can see that all that butter's gone, and it's nice and shiny. And that's just 2 seconds with the EnviroCloth and the window cloth. So now you're probably like, so now what? You have all this butter in that cloth. Now what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna keep using it because that's the beauty of Norwex. All that fiber in this cloth, it won't cross-contaminate. What the fibers pick up, it's not gonna let go of until you rinse it underwater. When you rinse it underwater, it's like those little hands that picked everything up, relax and let go of everything. So right now I'm gonna take my Enviro cloth and I'm gonna show you a demonstration with raw chicken, which is like crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of go down like this. All right, cool. So what I have here, I have a medical grade protein tester. This is not a Norwex product. This is a Hygienia Pro Clean protein residue test. So what this is, you see that green liquid? You can see that it's green. So if you see on this tester, there's a little check mark on the green. Hopefully you can see that. Because green is clean. And there's an X in the purples and the grays. Because if that liquid right there turns purple or gray, there's protein in the solution, and protein is bad. So why is protein bad? Protein, well, we all know raw chicken's gross, right? Well, protein on the scientific scale, proteins are actually smaller than bacteria. So what I'm showing you with raw chicken, this is the perfect example of how Norwex can solve for like norovirus and those kind of issues. So I've got my protein tester here, and this is just like a Q-tip swab. So I kind of swab the surface, stick it in the water, in the solution, and it tells me if it's clean or dirty. So what I'm gonna do here is, I've got 2 little plates, and I've got some yucky raw chicken, grody. So I'm gonna take the raw chicken, and I'm gonna wipe it all over plate number 1. And I can see, I don't know if it's coming through. You can see like it's wet with chicken, which is just gross. So I'm gonna put that away. So this plate now has raw chicken on it. I'm gonna take my Enviro cloth. I'm gonna do this whole demonstration with the tag side so that you know that I'm using the same side for the whole demonstration. So here is my Enviro cloth. Here is my dirty chicken plate. I'm doing one quick wipe, and there is the chicken. I'm gonna just set this down and test my plate. So what I'm doing is I'm testing this plate because I want to see if that Enviro cloth left any chicken behind. And green is clean. So that one quick wipe, I removed all that raw chicken that I wiped on the plate. It's pretty cool, right? So now what I'm going to show you, I'm going to take this tag side of this cloth. So this is where I cleaned up the chicken. This is presumably like tainted, right? I'm going to take a clean plate, and I'm trying to get rid of some of that chicken. I want this Enviro cloth to drop some of the chicken on the plate, but it's not going to. I know that because I've done this demonstration like a billion times. And the first 1.5 million, I was afraid it was gonna not work. And then finally I'm like, okay, it's never not worked. It's always gonna work. So I just wiped the Enviro cloth with the tag side on my clean plate. And I'm gonna show you that it did not drop any chicken. So this is how I can clean. Listen, I don't expect you guys to be cleaning bathrooms immediately and then coming to the kitchen. You know, it takes a long time to kind of build confidence with these products. Me personally, I trust them. I know that what it picks up, it's not gonna let go of. I've done this demonstration so many times that I have no problem cleaning my bathroom and continuing to use that cloth elsewhere. I know that if it picks up pee, it's gonna hold on to the pee until I rinse it out. It's totally gross, but that's how I roll. Okay, so next I want to touch the chicken to show you what would happen. You're like, yeah, great, so what? I want to show you what would happen if the EnviroCloth didn't pick up and remove all the chicken. So I'm going to show you a contaminated tester by touching the chicken. And that is a dirty tester. And you can see that it is definitely not green. So that's the chicken demonstration, which for me kind of went a long way that first time because I was really grossed out by raw chicken. I'm gonna just put that away because nobody really likes to have raw chicken just laying around. All right, next I wanna show you a demonstration that compares these Clorox wipes to my magical EnviroCloth. And I'm gonna rinse the EnviroCloth right now. And while I rinse it, I'm gonna just talk to you about rinsing it. So I picked up raw chicken with this. So I wanna get rid of as much of that raw chicken as I can. In order to do that, when you rinse it, you wanna rub the cloth together because you're creating, it's that concept that it's the fibers, the microfiber that picked up all that chicken. So you want to cause friction in the cloth so that all those little hands let go of that chicken. So the 8 clean sides that I was mentioning, so you have 8 clean sides and then you do a good rinse like that, now you got 8 more clean sides. So that's just how it works. You use the EnviroCloth till it needs to be rinsed, rinse it well, keep on using it. And then over the 24-hour period that it's drying, that's when the microsilver is going to work, destroying any remaining bacteria. But when you rinse it really well like that, and it doesn't matter hot water or cold, I tend to use hot water because it's just ingrained in me. But when you rinse it, most of that stuff's coming down the drain. There's not a whole, you don't want to leave a whole lot of stuff. I mean, microsilver is great, but it's not like Batman, you know? Okay, so the next demonstration, I'm gonna have to shut the lights off. And before we do that, I just wanna explain what I'm using. So I've got this powder called Glow Germ. And these are simulated germs. So it's a powder, and what it does is, it simulates germs, and they use this to kind of teach people how to wash their hands because, you know, they use it for a few different things. But the most common thing is to teach people how to wash their hands because they say, put some of this powder in your hands, go wash them. Under a black light, the powder glows. So if there's a glow after you've washed your hands, then you didn't wash your hands good enough. So we're gonna shut the lights off and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and I'm doing it on 2 surfaces, and I would like you to please comment and let me know your opinion on what surface shows better. I'm kind of like learning as I go here, and I want to see via video how this comes through. So if you like one more than the other, tell me, because I need feedback. So I've got a whiteboard here.
Stopped, Someone said video stopped.
Oh no. I've got a whiteboard here, and, okay. So in the dark, so you can kind of see, oh, it definitely shows better on the tile. But see, so there's the whiteboard, and you can see the sprinkled in the black light, the sprinkles, that's that glow germ that I'm talking about. So the glow germ is there. I'm now going to use my Lysol wipes. Is the video still going on yours?
It looks like it's just for one person. Gina says it's going good.
Okay, good. Okay, so I've got my Lysol wipes. I'm gonna put rubber gloves on because these things are super toxic and I'm not going to touch them. All right. So here's what we're doing. I gotta go in and grab. So not only are they toxic, but I swear these things, the hazard is like that you're gonna rip your hand off when you go in to grab one of these. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got 2 of these Lysol wipes. I'm gonna use one for each board, And this is how I used to use these, like before Thanksgiving dinner, because I had no idea. And I would clean my counters with these and say, okay, let's eat. Totally not even thinking about what I was really doing. So I take the wipe and I wipe the surface, and then I fold it. I wipe it again. And for good measure, I'm gonna fold it a third time and wipe it again. And then I'm gonna just set that right in the corner. I'm gonna take the other one and I'm gonna wipe the whiteboard. Same way. So I'm wiping, folding over, wiping again, and folding over again. Okay, so now I've just cleaned these two boards, right? Well, let's look at the black light and see what it says. Ooh, ooh. Can you see that all I did was smear it around? See all that highlight? You can still totally see all that germ. So what I'm going to show you now is when I take my Enviro cloth. Can you hold the black light for me? And you can just shine it right on the thing so we can show. So I'm taking my Enviro cloth, and you can see on this tile that there's smears all over the place, because that's what those Lysol wipes do. They smear. So I'm going to take my Enviro cloth, and hopefully you can see the line. What's clean and what's not. So Enviro cloth cleans. Enviro cloth cleans. Now watch this. Let me pick up this. Oh look, I'm smearing it all back on. Oh look, it's smearing back on. Let's take the Enviro cloth and clean them again. Clean. Clean. I don't think this is working very well. It's not, right?
It's just hard to see.
Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of that. So these wipes are just smearing, and you can see I can do this. I could do this 800 times. I could smear with the wipe and clean with the Enviro cloth. So that is the blacklight demonstration, kind of showing you that these things really aren't working the way that we think that they're working. So I'm gonna just take this off, and we're at 27 minutes, so
2 minutes on this or delay.
okay. Yeah, delay. Yeah, please delay. Okay. Yeah, just give me a couple more minutes. So that's the blacklight demo, kind of explaining and showing how Norwex compares to these chemical cleaners. Hopefully that was really clear to you that these guys aren't working the way that we think that they are. And there is no judgment whatsoever, because trust me, I was using these for my whole life until I knew better to stop. I quickly want to just talk a little bit about laundry. I'm gonna post how to care for your cloth. So here's the deal. I have these two jars, and there was Tide in this jar. These are really old, but there's all kinds of like in person, I can see little like aliens in there practically. It's really gross. And this is Norwex detergent. It is totally crystal clear. Norwex detergent works really well. And it doesn't have all the fillers and dyes and all kinds of stuff that you find in standard detergents. You don't want to use a Tide detergent with your Norwex microfiber, because Tide has all kinds of fillers and chemicals in it. And all those chemicals and fillers are going to fill up your cloth. And they're gonna coat the fibers. So when I was showing you that it's the fibers cleaning, all the chemicals and fillers in Tide coat those fibers, so they can't do their job. So you can use Tide, absolutely, but your cloths are not gonna last as long as if you were using Norwex or a safe detergent that's free of fillers and dyes and SLS and SLES. And so Norwex detergent is awesome. I love it. There's a liquid and there's a powder. I love them both. The liquid I find, you know, some people just like liquid over powder. The liquid I find is a better spot stain treatment than the powder, but the powder has a million other uses. Like the powder, this big spray bottle I have has just a teaspoon of powder in there and water, and this is like my all-purpose cleaner. So I have a lot of different uses for this powder detergent. So I love Norwex laundry detergent. And on the laundry, I'm quickly going to talk. Am I live still? Okay. I quickly want to talk about dryer sheets. So dryer sheets are the second most toxic thing in the average home behind toilet bowl cleaner. So toilet bowl cleaner makes sense, right? It makes sense that it's toxic. So while it makes sense, I encourage you, have you ever actually read the back of your toilet bowl cleaner? I mean, I knew it was toxic. I always knew it was toxic. I didn't know how toxic. Do yourself a favor and read the back of your toilet bowl cleaner. It's like really scary. It says like it can cause permanent blindness. Permanent blindness. I had that stuff right under my sink, you know, for my 5-year-old nephew to access. You know, I wasn't thinking about it that way. But now that I know what I know, I feel like standard toilet bowl cleaners should be locked up with the guns. Seriously, you know, I mean, it's like you could have a really bad accident if somebody got into that, and I didn't know. So Norwex Fluff and Tumble dryer balls, I love. They come in, the Fluff and Tumble dryer balls are 100% wool, and I put all 3 in the dryer at once, and they actually reduce your drying time and help with static, and I drop a little bit of essential oils right on there to give my clothes a nice little smell. So I love the Fluff and Tumble dryer balls. And then I have one more demonstration that I must do, and that is with our cleaning paste. So the cleaning paste is like elbow grease in a jar. I'm gonna shut this light off because it's, okay, yeah, here we go. So the cleaning paste is like elbow grease in a jar. My container of cleaning paste is like 2.5 years old. So it's a crumbly mess. But this stuff lasts a long time. When it comes new, it's just a solid. And what you do is you just take your Enviro cloth and kind of wipe a little bit of the powder on there. And then you clean whatever. Like, it's great for your sink, it's great for shoes, it's great for anything. What I'm gonna show you is I'm going to take this little tile here. It's just a piece of like tile for your house. And a Sharpie marker. And I am going to write Gina on this tile, because I don't know if any of you have children that maybe have come home and there's Sharpie marker everywhere. That's like terrible, right? I'm just gonna let that sit there for a second, and I'm gonna show you how Norwex cleaning paste is going to remove that permanent marker easily, really easily. So I've got my thing here. It's dried on there. You know, it's permanent marker. And here's my cleaning paste and Norwex Enviro cloth. And it takes that right off.
Wendy wants to know if these cloths can be used on ceramic top stovetops.
Oh yes. These cloths are excellent for all stovetops. The Enviro cloth can be used on pretty much any surface. Here's like things that I've used my Enviro cloth on. My clothing, my carpets, my furniture, all of my surfaces. I've gotten red wine out of my couch with the Enviro cloth and water alone, nothing else, which is crazy. So yes, great on stovetop. And you know what else is great on stovetop? This cleaning paste. This cleaning paste gets off like burnt, stuck on stuff. It's like awesome. So I just removed the permanent marker with EnviroCloth and cleaning paste, and it was just fabulous. So if there's no other questions right now, those are all the demonstrations I have. So what I did, it is mop month. So I want to quickly talk about the mop. I'm kind of a little bit behind right now, so I don't have time to demonstrate the mop. Everything that I've done with that EnviroCloth, the mop is like having the EnviroCloth for the floor. I've mopped my whole house in 6 minutes, which is good and bad, because it's good because it only took you 6 minutes, but it's bad because the times that you don't feel like doing it, you're like, oh, for criminy's sakes, it only takes 6 minutes. So the mop is awesome. It is, you can just like the best product, because it saves so much time. And think about the floor, like your pets, your kids, everything touches the floor. So you want it to be clean. And with Norwex, you have a true clean. You know, one thing that I hear a lot is, yeah, but I like the smell of my cleaning products. Well, if you think about it, clean shouldn't have a smell. If something is truly clean, it should smell like nothing. So with the Norwex mop, your floors are truly clean. And you can get the mop one of 3 ways. You can buy it. It is worth every penny. You can get it in a superior mop system that costs $112.99. You will save tons of money if you're currently using Swiffer. You will save tons of time because you can clean your whole floors so easily with just water. And you're gonna love yourself. You can host a party like Gina's doing. So January is mop month, so the mop is included in the host rewards. Woohoo! So hosting a party, you can either get the mop 100% free or heavily discounted, or you can join my team and you get a free mop in your starter kit. I love sharing Norwex. I am actually, you know, one of the things, I joined Norwex 2.5 years ago because I quit drinking alcohol and I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with myself all this time that I'm not drinking. So I joined Norwex because the products like blew me away. I just love them. And now today, 2.5 years later, I am like, Norwex is my passion because of the chemicals. I can't tell enough people about Norwex because it's providing a safe solution for people, and it's actually meaningful. And you guys, I make real money. I mean, yes, I have free EnviroCloths for days, you know, for days. I got EnviroCloths galore, which is great. I've gotten lots of free mops in my Norwex career. But I make on average $200 in cash per party, which is awesome. You know, I have earned a trip to Maui. I'm going next month in February. I have a free trip to Maui that I earned through Norwex. This business is just way different than I ever thought it was. You know, I come from corporate America, and I kind of looked at direct sales like snottily, you know, before I encountered Norwex. And it's just really changed my mind and my views on everything with direct sales. So if you have any questions about Norwex and joining my team, I would love to talk to you. There is real money to be made, and also you get a 35% discount when you join my team. So whether you want to join my team and actually do it, run it as a business, make some money, or you just want everything in the catalog and you don't want to pay full price, there's lots of great reasons to join my team. So let me know if you have any questions, and we are going to move along, and thank you very much. How do I stop?